after the summer that I met you, I accessed one of my bigger dreams. And that was teaching at every single festival that I wanted. And with that comes free tickets.
Exactly.
Which is awesome. And then a year after, I was like, wait, I don't know if I actually want to be teaching this much for the amount of pay that I'm receiving.
Yes.
Yes,
We meet again.
We are here.
Yet again. Another day.
Another blessing. Scoot back a little bit.
Awesome. Me brethren.
Blessings. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Blessings to wherever you are in the world. May you be brought this peace, this joy, and this uplifting empowerment as we are here for another epic episode of the Yoga Revealed podcast. I'm here with my brethren, Alec.
Andrew, brother. We are here in beautiful Boulder, Colorado.
Sitting atop the Vishnu's couch.
Vishnu's couch. Yes, that is the name of my bed. It's an incredible bed. Check the YouTube for videos of all Yoga Revealed, and you can see where I reside.
Yes, indeed. A beautiful space indeed. I've been just reminiscing of this wonderful heart-centered mandala magic, and I'm like, wow, so much intention comes in being Alec Vishal Rouben.
Well, once upon a time, I wanted to sleep more intentionally. And so I sought out a woodworker who made this incredible bed and triangles, and, pyramids have always inspired me and you and our race, our species. And so I found this incredible Sri Yantra, this heart Sri Yantra, and it sleeps right above me as I journey into the dream realm.
Dude, I feel like some of the reasons why I've been most connected with you over these past years is just your heart-centered awareness. Just how intentional you are in what you do, and how kind and truly compassionate you are in the way that you live your life. And so it's been an honor to have the opportunity to reconnect here in a very auspicious time in Boulder. And I feel that we gotta give a little listeners like a little bit of framework on what we've been up to this past few days.
Yeah.
I literally got in on Saturday evening.
Friday.
Saturday? Yeah, Saturday evening. Yeah.
Time.
Right?
What a weird thing.
Right? Just a wild concept. And essentially from arriving, it's been absolutely incredible. I mean, it's been a really beautiful experience going to Red Rocks, teaching yoga to...
Your second time there.
Yeah, second time there. First
Best
time...
venue on earth.
it's
one of them.
It's pretty incredible. And had the opportunity to teach yoga to 1,200 yogis with you up on stage supporting me in this beautiful community. And it was absolutely incredible. And that was also a very special day for you as well, right?
Yeah, it was an incredibly auspicious day. April 10th, 2017 was a transformative day for my life. A best friend, Matt Lackey, had passed and left his human physical form, and just the auspiciousness of that day, to give listeners a little framework, in death is something that if maybe by now you have not yet been touched by it, it's inevitable. We will be touched by death, and it might not be your own death because we might not have the cognizance of like, I'm dying to being dead. That like glimpse of the moment. I don't know. I'm not there. You're not there. You're not there. Whoever's listening, but we'll all be there. And so for me, that was my fifth or fourth kiss to death. But like first time was a best friend, and the auspiciousness was, I last saw Matt Lackey on October 26th, 2016 at one of Boulder's first daybreakers ever. And then I found out Matt had passed after a 6-month Southeast Asian yogic study trip in India, where I happened to have landed in Venice with you before heading home. And I was with you when I found out Matt had passed.
Yeah, I remember you like
woke you up
that morning. Yeah, you woke me up and you're like, I gotta go, I gotta leave, and I was like, what are you talking about?
Like, we just got here.
Yeah,
we got Yoga Revealed stuff to do. I was like, my best friend just died. I gotta go home. And so I did, and the auspiciousness is 5 years later to the date, I'm with you and you're teaching yoga at a Daybreakers at the one and only legendary Red Rocks, where also it was the first time in Red Rocks history we got to dance on stage.
Yep.
And in my first history, where I also got to bring the Love Life sign into Red Rocks, which I've been trying to do for like 11 years. Because apparently the Love Life sign is a weapon of love.
Yes, it is dangerous. It is dangerous. You know, some people see it and just instantly heart open to where it is.
Heart expansion immediately. So yeah, it was a really powerful day, and every moment that I believe that we step into the moment with a level of heart awareness of how do I feel? What's present for me? How can I not only use this feeling of medicine, but also transmute the experience? Because sometimes maybe this experience isn't what I'm wanting to bring forward to my community. So how do I transmute? I could have chosen to be sad on Sunday. Sunday. But rather, I was in a state of celebration. I was in a state of joyful remembrance. And it was an honor. And the auspiciousness, I mean, the synchronicity of just how divine alignment is. I heard you say something so incredible, and I'm tapping it in. And this one thing I've always been inspired by you is your intentionality with words, and the not only the poetic nature that you have, and the high level congruence to Great Spirit, the awareness of your own heart, and the intellect of your mind, and unifying these things. I heard you say, you were talking to Brother Kai, and you said, I'm going at the most divine pace there is. The pace of trust.
Yeah.
And I think everybody can tune into that medicine so deeply. So, yes, this weekend has been incredible.
Yeah, and we have really been moving at the speed of trust.
Yes.
I feel that that's the pace that life enjoys us to progress at. And I feel that oftentimes we try to control the pace, we try to push the pace, and sometimes we even try to slow down things when, you know, it's really like meant to be had at that speed. And so essentially it's truly trusting the universal law of time. And I feel that, you know, in time we do heal. And one thing that I did want to touch on is, you know, with your best friend passing away, a lot of our listeners out there have had loved ones who've passed away, especially during this pandemic. This pandemic has been really a huge learning experience for a lot of us, and learning in the space of death, of passing, of grieving. So for our listeners out there who are listening, who perhaps have had loved ones who have passed away, what would you say are some of the main practices and some of the nurturing remedies that have helped you in coping with the passing of your best friend?
Wow. Yeah, well, first, thank you for the question. And second, to all those who have been impacted by the kiss of death of a best friend, a family member, an elderly, incredible pillar of your family. I'm deepest condolences. I feel for you. We feel for you. And the planet feels together. And for me, some of my biggest pathways of progressing along the journey of healing through the passing of a beloved has first off been to feel it to its core. Our culture is so, like, you know, if you've been blessed to travel the world and you've been blessed to maybe go to incredible locations like Bali, likely you've seen a funeral on the street.
Yeah.
It's very open.
Varanasi.
Yeah, in India. I mean, death is on the streets, literally.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, you're not going to really see a funeral walking down the street at Pearl Street in your city. You're not gonna see it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a rarity. So for me to feel it to its core has been definitely one of the biggest things. And I've noticed as I navigate the journey of grief, you know, there are 5 stages of grief. I can't list them off the top of my head right now, but what I will say, on the other end of grief is a wellspring of infinite love. Because the grief is, the sadness is really just a honor of that which has been shared and which is fondly thought and felt into and for some dearly missed. And there's ways to transmute that journey. So for me, I'm looking at it right now. I've literally had a photo, my favorite photo of Matt Lackey and I on my altar. We're at Burning Man, and we're both in our underwear, and it's just awesome. So that's been one way that I honor his memory. I have picture of my brother on my altar with different things on my altar that remind me of him, or omens that show me that he's actually with me. That's one big thing for me. And then I also love to, like, once a year, I do the right things that are in honor of his memory on his passing day, and on his birthday as well. So, it's been absolutely incredible. I love Matt Lackey, and I love life. I love being able to have this deeper awareness to also the fragility of life. I mean, I had surgery like 5-6 weeks ago, and it put me on my ass.
Yeah.
We're so fragile. And when we get in the grind and we get in the day to day, even when there's a level of, I think, awareness, sometimes we can forget how fragile our bodies are until impact comes.
Yep.
So that's what I would share for those who have been impacted in this pandemic. Grab one of your favorite photos, get it framed, and put it on your altar. If you don't have an altar yet, this might be a good moment.
Yeah, make an altar. It's actually going to show just, right over here. I have my altar with my pyridine, my meditation, magical pyramid, and all of my, malas and different, things that I really feel are sacred to me, and I travel with them, and I travel all around the world, and I don't forget these items because they're items that bring me back to that awareness of myself, and back to the awareness of my practice, and back to the awareness of the interconnected webs of spirit that literally bring us all together.
Equilibrium.
Yeah. And so, I do have my altar at home as well, which is obviously more robust than my travel altar. But I feel it is very important to have a spiritual practice where you do have, these different talisman that actually bring you back to that awareness of spirit, and bring you back to that awareness that we're all connected, and also bring you back to that comfort of like, these are my sacred items that I travel with, and it brings you back to that heartfelt awareness.
Yeah. I also have a beautiful travel altar, and I think I've done that ever since I made my first altar. I remember when spirituality came to me here in Boulder, Colorado, when I discovered this journey of spirit within self, and I was like, wow, I'm going to explore this. I went to the store and I bought this, the big old crystal book, like the cliche crystal book that everyone has. I don't know the name, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yes. Crystal Bible 101.
Yes, Crystal Bible 101. You can find it in your nearest crystal store. And I remember discovering these things called chakras and these energy centers. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to choose one stone for each chakra. And it's so funny that I look back, this is 11 years ago, I chose the most expensive stone for every single chakra. I'm talking like, if you know Heliodor, it's for solar plexus. And, like a nice little size of Heliodor, the size of your pinky is, I have one now, 10 years later, like $800. And I was a freshman in college. I was like, there's no way.
Yeah.
So I love the intentionality of travel altars.
Definitely.
It's awesome.
Definitely. And just to speak to, we were talking a little bit about, this concept of like how we've progressed in time, like when we started this, like 5-6 years ago, almost now. Yeah. Like we were so young in our exploration of yoga. But also I feel that, in practicing yoga now for 13 years and, getting to this place now where I'm teaching on stage and, getting paid to fly around the world, and like it's like there's been a huge progress of both of our paths. And I feel so often that a lot of the yogis always ask me like how am I able to monetize my practice of yoga but at the same time still have a spiritual practice. So I wanted to speak a little bit to that.
Please,
and
I love
how
that.
and how you have, like not only grown in your own practice, but also grown in your, in your Purium, and, really created, like I saw your award over there for like Black Diamond, like, like you've gone big in that space. And,
Thank you.
and how do you still ground yourself in this spiritual awareness?
Well, first off, it comes back, thank you. But first off, it comes back to having an altar. I mean, I have things upon my altar in my room and in Annie's room and for her altar and in the outside living room altar that tap me into this center.
Yeah.
This vision. I think when I don't think I know when 70 to 80% of your language becomes a level of vision, solutions, opportunities, and personal storytelling, I believe we know that we're spending the right time with the right people. So for me, even on my bathroom, you might have seen it, Andrew, there are money affirmations that I'm not like the best artist, but it's perfect to me. And
Beautiful.
I watercolored a heart circle with green heart circle, and I wrote some money affirmations, and one of those affirmations are money and spirituality can coexist in harmony and service. Money is current energetic currency, and it is something that has transformed me in my own life from when I used to identify that I had to make my money teaching 15 to 20 classes of yoga a week in order to be in service. And that was before I met you.
Yeah.
And even when I met you.
Yeah, I remember you were teaching nonstop over at the Yoga Pod.
Yoga Pod, Core Power Yoga, Samadhi, Little Yoga Studio, Prana. I was literally everywhere in Boulder because I wanted to be the yoga teacher. And then I remember after the summer that I met you, I accessed one of my bigger dreams. And that was teaching at every single festival that I wanted. And with that comes free tickets.
Exactly.
Which is awesome. And then a year after, I was like, wait, I don't know if I actually want to be teaching this much for the amount of pay that I'm receiving. Now, don't get me wrong. Let's say that you're a new teacher. You got to put your due in.
Yep.
You got to put your due in. You're not going to, you've taken 200-hour teacher training, you want to make over 50, 60, 70 bucks a class? I'm sorry. Go get another training. Invest in yourself as a student. You've taken dozen trainings. I've literally taken a dozen trainings.
Yeah.
I got a master's degree in traditions of yoga and meditation. I put $80K into my studies. So now, in 2021, I made a promise to myself that when I teach a class to a corporate client, it will be at minimum $500 an hour.
Yeah.
At minimum. And that has manifested. We're both going to be, we'll talk about it in a little bit. We're both teaching at a festival this summer in Colorado, Drishti Beats, and they're paying us very generously and putting us up. So that became a part of the communication piece for me where I discovered, wow, teaching yoga, it can have lucrative means, and also we have to put our time in as a student and as a teacher. It's important that internal balance of shishya and guru, the teacher-student relationship. Don't have a teacher? Cool, keep searching. Your teacher, I dislike this quote, but God bless it. It's true. When the student is ready, the teacher comes. God darn, man, that ate me up for 5.5 years. But then my teacher came, and sometimes there's hard reflection with your teacher. They illuminate the darkness of your mind, the darkness of the corners of your life, so you can shed light in different areas and facets. So for me, Purium, network marketing, the opportunity of being an entrepreneur came into my life, and I rose through the ranks quite quickly, and I've been able to generate anywhere for me $5,000 to $7,000, $8,000 a month, creating residual income, working with holistic nutrition, working with team leadership, serving people who want to just have an additional superfood product, and then also who don't want to have to work at a grocery store, work at a 9 to 5. I'm grateful for the people who do that, and I always do my best. Not perfect, but I always do my best to be present with the person who's at the cashier check. If I'm on the phone, I will say, let me call you back in 3 minutes. And I'll try to ask how you are. I mean, like, Tim at Natural Grocers.
Yeah.
He's a cool old hippie. And I can't wait to tell him and show him a photo or video of Don't Stop Believing. Because I know he had seen Journey.
Yeah.
He saw Journey yesterday.
Yeah, we did see Journey yesterday. And that was incredible, you know? And I feel like, you know, when it comes to this concept of, you know, still being able to be in a material world, but yet at the same time still embody a spiritual awareness, like that's really the true balance of yoga. That's the sukha, and also it's the real deep awareness that every single opportunity that we have to be fully encompassed in this balance of sthira and sukham, and this balance of really being in the world but not being of the world, right? Like that's the real magic. Like that's that's when we're able to really create our reality.
Right.
And I've seen it time and time again from my own perspective of just, you know, asking for what I truly want and knowing inside of my being that this is what I deserve because I've put in the work, because I've put in the time, because I've literally put forth all the steps to get to this point where when I do ask for what I deserve, I get what I deserve. And I feel that oftentimes we get stuck in this idea that, you know, maybe we're not worthy of what we're asking for. And I feel like a lot of times that's the time when we need to go back to the drawing board. That means we need to go back to our studies. That means we need to go back to our self-love. That means we need to go back to our guru, our teachers, and really figure out how we can come back to that sense of really deserving what we ask for.
Yeah. And I mean, in that piece, it is getting out into nature. Because when we get back to the core of ourselves with Great Spirit and with the Mother, with this planet, we'll be able to clear out the muck, clear out the distraction, clear out the outer signals that are not in true resonance with our breath, with our field, with the earth frequencies, and we can clarify, what is it that you want? What is it that I want now, tomorrow, a year from now, 3 years from now? What is it that I want with my time? What is it that I want with the people that surround me? What is it that I want with my practice each and every day? What does that look like? For me, I mean, I'm so grateful that I've now got a giant beast of a dog. I love him so much. And we go on a walk twice a day. But the reality is, 6 months ago, I did not go on a walk twice a day. I did not get out in nature every single day to go spend at least an hour outside. And now I do. And when I do that, I'd say like 89.9% of the time, I am hyper present with sunshine, with nature. It's amazing.
Yeah, and I feel that when you align with nature, that's when you truly tap into the abundance mindset. Because the abundance mindset is literally nature. Natural intelligence is always thriving in abundance. Like, you know, the apple tree grows and takes the nourishment from the ground in the rain, and it grows apples.
And the mango tree flows.
Yeah, you know, and that's just how it goes. And I think that the more that we realize that just like that apple tree, just like that mango tree, we are nature. And thus, as we continue to grow, we will have more abundance to share with the people that we love. And so that abundance may come in the form of teaching yoga. That abundance may come in the form of, you know, sharing your gift of cooking, or sharing your gift of, you know, time management resources, whatever it is. It's like there's so many different things that we have the opportunity of sharing, and it's just a matter of really tapping into that sense of awareness and then spreading that abundance.
And and just speaking about that, it might be the abundance of somebody coming to take your yoga class, who then, upon the second time of hanging out with you, may get you a free shirt at a concert, and then next thing you know, you might have a whole opportunity of whatever it is because of someone who just came to your yoga class. You know, I'm being vague, but it just shows that when you step into the light of service, and you do it without expectation, and you receive a level of, I know what I'm worth, I'm giving myself the time and energy of day to speak out loud of what I'm worth, to speak for what I want, the universe will give back to you as a little God wink to show you that you're on your right path, especially if you ask for support. Energetically, spiritually, to Great Spirit. You haven't ever just looked in the mirror or hugged a tree or laid on the ground and closed your eyes and stared at the sky and said, I am open and receptive to the divine messages that wish to come through you. Please. That's the abundance, openness, right?
Yeah. Open. We have to be open to receive. That's the key.
Yeah.
That is really the key. And I feel that opening comes from the practice of yoga. And that opening comes from the deep awareness of meditation on a day-to-day basis.
I was about to say, meditating every day. I haven't done my 20 minutes yet. I woke up. Did you already meditate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I literally, like, as soon as I wake up, I sit here, I put on my paradigm.
Yes.
And I literally just tap in for 20, maybe 30 minutes, like, before I even... unless I have to blow my nose, unless I have to, take a pee or something like that. Like, that's the only time that I will really, not just go straight to meditation, but otherwise I go straight to meditation. I have my singing bowl, and I use my singing bowl every morning, and I literally meditate. And after my meditation, I do mantra. I feel that mantra is such a empowering way to connect back to the primordial sound of vibratory frequency. And when we actually emanate that sound, it's literally word, sound, power. If the first words that come out of your mouth are words of truth, of words of love, or words of compassion, like my mantras that I use are how can we be removed from the darkness to the light, from weakness to strength, from death to immortality, like those mantras hold a sense of resonance that bring us into a space of truly realizing our own power. And then from there, I just set an intention for the day. And then once I have that intention for the day, and then I go and take a shower, take a poo, and then take a shower in that order, actually. Make some tea, really get ready for the day. And I feel that practice of first honoring yourself is such an incredible way to really feel the resonance of priming your day.
This morning when I got out of bed, I went straight into Supta Virasana, which one could consider that would be my meditation for 10 minutes or 12 minutes, and I might have done that with my dog next to me. But no matter what it is, I was very tired. We stayed up a little late. I woke up pretty early.
We were at Journey last night.
I like my solid 8.5 hours of sleep each night, no matter what, anywhere from 7 to 8. And yes, sitting twice a day is so critical. That afternoon meditation is like that dose of coffee. So incredible. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, we meditated over at the creek when I first got in, and I was feeling pretty under the weather. Like, I just tired. I just came in from Costa Rica, like literally, and I was at a wedding. I drove 6 hours to get from the wedding back to the airport, and then literally slept 2 hours, and then jumped on a plane, and literally had I think it was like an 8-hour flight to get here, and then I was just bam, straight back into it. So being able to have the opportunity to meditate and to really tap back into your energy, breathe some fresh air, go out into nature, whether it's a creek, whether it's a nice little, thatch of beautiful wooded area, nice little, it could even be a pond, like wherever you have like a nice little nature area, it could just be your backyard, some flowers, like really take the opportunity to observe nature and feel into that space. It does help a lot.
And I think as we begin to close, I'd love to ask you this question. Do a lot of people ever ask you, like, how do you travel this much? Or, like, how do you do this? And I heard something really incredible where a lot of people might say, or do people ever ask you this? Like, I want to do what you do?
Yes. All the time on Instagram, I get a lot of messages.
Right?
That, like, how do you do what you do? I want to do what you do. I want to travel. I want to teach here.
So check this out. One of the most powerful responses that I ever heard to that statement, I want to do what you do, is, okay, cool. But are you willing to do what I did? To do what I do?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's a journey.
What did you do? Are you willing to do the did in order to do the do?
Yeah.
Some people just want to like boost right to where it is at the height of the journey to get there.
Yeah.
Rather than being upon the journey. Not about the destination, because you're here now, but you're going to continue. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to continue. We're going to keep going. And I think that it's so important to be where we are and to love where we are, knowing that this too shall pass. Mm-hmm. For those, excuse me, for those who are in the grief hole, and the grief portal rather, this too shall pass. For those who are wanting to create new opportunity, to have more experiences teaching, speak it, live it, embrace it, mm-hmm. serve it. Because getting to the do, you got to do the did. Mm-hmm. You know,
you got to do the did. Truth. Man. Well, I feel like, you know, it's really a beautiful practice to be able to tap back in and to also see how we can align to create more resources for our listeners. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I have committed to in this year has been building out an app. And in that app, we're going to have 100 days of yoga revealed challenge for you all to really tap into the resources that we have actually brought together based upon our knowledge, our experience, the teachers that we've interviewed, the incredible thought leaders, the gurus, the magnificent entrepreneurs that we have had the opportunity of linking with, and compiling 100 days of yoga to empower you in really witnessing your dreams come true. Because one thing that I've realized is that through this practice of yoga, my whole entire life has changed. Mm-hmm. People don't, I can't explain it enough to really like show it, but like literally every single day practicing yoga, whether it's just, 5 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes at night, whatever it is, like the practice of yoga will change your life. And through 100 days of practicing yoga, that's literally what set my course for changing my whole entire life into where I am today. So we're going to be providing you with this online resource so that you too can tap into this wisdom and you too can see the changes that are witnessed from that perspective of practicing every single day.
I am super excited for it. We have 4 quarters in a year, right? Just under 100 days, 90 days. And I do believe it takes just 90 days to learn a skill set, mm-hmm. to also shift your mindset, mm-hmm. to cultivate a certain daily action, to hold a level of accountability. Yes. And it takes 90 days plus 10 to truly change your life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And we're about to do it. And so get ready for that. Also, you can find us both. We'll be at Drishti Beats. We're actually setting up a live podcasting space there, which is going to be absolutely incredible.
So awesome.
So not only will we be pumping out really incredible content, but we'll also be teaching there as well.
Together, yeah. It'll be so fun. You can come July 8th through 10th in Snowmass, which is right around the corner from Aspen, Colorado. Mm-hmm. And if you go to our links in our bio or the link in this description, you'll be able to get your tickets, reserve your seat, get your friends there.
And we have a discount code for you.
YR Beats.
YR
Use
Beats.
Use it at checkout. Saves you some dollars.
Mm-hmm. And we're super excited to see you guys there. It's going to be absolutely next level. It's here in Colorado in Snowmass.
But it's more than just a yoga festival. It's also a music festival, which is cool because, we'll be teaching our classes, but we'll have DJs paired with us. And what's cool to me, like all of you probably know Emancipator, right?
Yeah.
You've heard Emancipator. And I've been listening to Emancipator for 10 years. And he has his violinist, right? And his name is Lapa. And Lapa, his name is Ilya Goldberg, and so Lapa is going to be playing for me on my on my yoga class, and then another one will be Frameworks, which I'm stoked about.
That's going to be next level.
It's going to be so cool. I'm super excited.
Yeah. I'm excited too. It's going to be absolutely next level. So we hope to see you there in person. And until next time, live light, shine bright.
Love life.
Fully. And we will see you again sooner than later. Much love, Yoga Revealers.
Namaste.
Namaste.